To be a good team, you need talent and leadership.
Here is Dupreeh, gets himself too. Can he get a third? Yes, he can.
But to be a great team, you need a heart.
I rather want people to see Astralis instead of me.
And for Astralis, that was Dupreeh.
I put myself in situations where I couldn't fail.
He gets the opening pick, is it enough? Dupreeh ready on the lower ramp, looking for a start. He gets it, could get even more. This is brilliant.
Dupreeh wasn't the flashiest player to don the red and black, but he humanized what many saw as an inhumanly skilled roster.
This is the most insane thing I've ever tried in my entire life. We just keep believing it. We just show that we're the best team in the world.
And of course, he was always an integral part of what many still consider the greatest lineup in CSGO history.
Dupreeh is key, he's instrumental to Astralis' victories.
Dupreeh to play it back. He's also flashed off Eagle. Works though. Limited vision, limited weapons. Doesn't even matter. Dupreeh! Oh, the fourth as well! How sick is this round for him? And he's looking for the ace. The first ace!
The golden era Astralis may be no more, but Dupreeh's story didn't end with that team.
Dupreeh's recovered and he's got 3. He's even dinked out the 4th as well, and he'll get it, he'll confirm, and now he might just get all 5. 1 player left and Dupreeh's got it!
Peter Holtman Rasmussen!
Peter Dupreeh Rasmussen will always be remembered as part of the Astralis that won 4 CSGO majors, more than any other team in the game's history to date. On Astralis, Dupreeh set the standard for entry fraggers everywhere.
And this is where Xyp9x has to be perfect. It's Device out behind the boxes. Dupreeh, he's down below. He gets all 3 bombs dropped. That could be the round in itself. 58 seconds, and all they have to do is protect the bomb. Not to mention a flank. Glaves on the scene, claiming it long, no chance. Dupreeh, what, around 4 kills?
And he showed the world that not even the deadliest CSGO pro is above cracking a joke every now and then.
As I said, it seemed impossible after map 1 because they were playing so well. Dupreeh is also happy.
Device, it sounds like there's a party going on. Who's whooping in the background?
It's Dupreeh, of course.
But before all of that, Dupreeh was a competitive kid, growing up in Denmark, who spent every waking moment getting better at Counter-Strike, dabbling in both 1.6 and Source.
Det ligesom om, at Counter-Strike det en del af hans DNA. Der havde han næsen inde i computerne.
And we had the youth club that usually allowed you to play 30 minutes a day, but you had to sign up. Like you had to sign yourself on the list, and that was the only place we could play because back then it wasn't that common to have computers at home, so we really wanted to play there. So we sat there and waited at that list for like an hour before you could actually sign on, just to play 30 minutes and then go home. And we did that like every single day for the past year or something. So yeah, that was probably the memory I remember the most because that was where I started feeling that I was actually really good at Counter-Strike.
In 2010, when the future superstar was just 17, his dad, a man Dupreeh had looked up to from a young age, was diagnosed with an aggressive form of chest cancer. Michael Rasmussen made it through, eventually, but the ordeal left Dupreeh and the rest of his family shaken. At the time, young Dupreeh would hide away in his room and play Counter-Strike as a way to cope.
That was where I could laugh with people. That's where people didn't know about all the shit happening in my life.
After graduating high school, Dupreeh doubled down on his dream of becoming a professional CS player, and CSGO seemed like the way forward. Eventually, Dupreeh's prowess landed him on his very first pro team, the Copenhagen Wolves, and he was off to a good start right away.
3-on-2 with Apex and Kenny S. I've hardly got anything between them. Here is Dupreeh, gets himself too. Can he get a third? Yes, he can. Final round, but where's the bomb? Ring around the roses here. Does he have enough time? Yes, he does. He is going to have time for the defuse. What a round, what a finish coming out from this first half.
The Wolves were also where Dupreeh first got to play with 2 of his eventual Astralis teammates, Device and Xyp9x. The 3 stuck together for the next 5 years as they cycled through orgs, and their other teammates came and went. Dupreeh found himself moving from Copenhagen Wolves to Uber Geeks to Team Dignitas to Team Solo Mid, and he fragged out on every one of those teams.
That's Dupreeh down to 38, but they are going to get control of this A side. Team Dignitas, they've got the smokes down to cut Cloud9 off, and in fact, they're going for huge plays! Dupreeh
Going towards that B bomb site once again, you would expect them to be doing something pretty fast here with the smoke grenade, perhaps, and that shot from Dupreeh takes down Zendo. Fantastic use of the new hitboxes there.
And sprays through the wall. Dupreeh's on fire. Going to be taking down Sever so well. He cannot be stopped.
Crims goes down. It's a 2v2, but the nade comes out from Pronax. It's Device. Already gone through. Dupreeh 1v2. He gets one. He gets a second.
Oh my
We're going to overtime, ladies and gents. TSM. What a way to pull this one back from the brink.
But the next change on the horizon was bigger than Dupreeh could have ever imagined. Nowadays, the name Astralis conjures up the image of a specific lineup. Device, Dupreeh, Xyp9x, Glaive and Magisk, headed up by their coach Zonic. But that wasn't always the case. At its inception in 2015, the roster not only looked different, they also performed way differently than the Astralis we all know and love. In fact, choking when it mattered most was so commonplace it became known as the Astralis curse.
They're one round, they're not on the knife's edge now, and Astralis, they do not fare well in this sort of situation. They've been known to crumble in the past.
The bomb is being planted way out in the open, and Chris is already waiting on Catwalk. He actually misses the shot, so Dupreeh getting a second chance at it. Going to be charging on in. He goes down, and Mousesports are going to be in the semifinals. 16-12 over Astralis on Dust 2.
I want to talk to both of you specifically about the curse of Astralis.
I've interviewed Kerrigan as well and asked him specifically about it, and they hate talking about it. They hate calling it choking, right? But it just keeps happening, right? It's always at the semifinals. It's got to be this mental block, but it's so weird because it's not even like apparent to themselves, you know?
Literally after that game ended, Dupreeh poked his head in the green room and went like, they're completely aware of what's going on, but they're not aware maybe necessarily of why it's happening.
It wasn't until Glaive entered the picture as the team's new IGL that things started looking up for Astralis.
Hello, I am Glaive. I am the newest addition to the Astralis team. I am the in-game leader and there's not much more to say about that. I always wanted to play with such amazing talents. I think they are all really good people. They have so much firepower and I want to see how far I can take it with them.
A decision was made to let Kjærby do the entry fragging while Dupreeh transformed into the role of a lurker, a complete opposite of what he was used to doing. But Dupreeh had no problem with taking one for the team if it meant bringing Astralis closer to their ultimate goal.
So Hallow and Nico going to go straight in with Glaive to watch them off. Dupreeh to play it bags, could swing back in that direction because he isn't going to be pressured, but he doesn't know that. He's also flashed off. Eagle works though. Limited vision, limited weapons, doesn't even matter. Dupreeh! Oh, the fourth as well! How sick is this round for him? And he's looking for the ace, the first ace from anyone on Astralis in this tournament, and now they're getting bumped.
This is not just a game for me. This is my kind of my life in some way. Like, it's a big part of my life, and achieving and winning a major is something that only a small percentage of the CSGO players achieve, since there's also people that's won it multiple times. So yeah, this is the dream, and if we manage that dream, then yeah.
The switch, combined with the other changes implemented by the org, including the addition of an on-staff sports psychologist, finally did the trick.
Not going to be successful this time. Maybe it's going to be Pasha put into play, walking in, looking for the kill on Oppa, but he misses his by a little bit of help. He goes down, Pasha. That was the big opportunity. Now it's all on the Clutch, and he gets the headshot on one, goes for a second, but Dupreeh going to be there. Triple kill, left on 6 health.
In this one, it's pretty much a hard eco from Astralis, and a huge clutch coming through for Dupreeh at the end, making all the difference here in this second half.
He turns around for it, Sip realizing Neo walks in, and he gets the shot on Xyp9x. That leaves Dupreeh 1 versus 2. He has to clutch this. Astralis mentally, they need this to get back into the game. He sees the gun barrel, headshot on one. Now comes Pasha next in line. Dupreeh going for it, doing the damage, and he gets it 1 versus 2.
We've said it so many times in the past, the man on your screen there, Dupreeh, is key. He's instrumental to Astralis' victories.
Now it's a 2-on-3. Astralis, I don't know how they've got into this situation, but they actually have the man lead.
So Air is key. Air as they're walking out into the open, one after another. Virtus Pro, what is this? The first half was Virtus Pro's. The second half has been all about Astralis. This is incredible. Are we going to see it? Are Astralis going to break the curse? Are they going to win their first major, the first time they're in the finals?
He goes down with the max 70, can't make it happen. Finally, Pasha coming in with a refrag, but he's down. The bomb has been picked up by Dupreeh. They get the spray. Neo takes one, and Towns is there. And Astralis, they win the first major championship. 16-14 against Unbelievable! Here they are, ladies and gentlemen, your major champions, Astralis.
This is the most insane thing I've ever tried in my entire life. Like, it goes out to all 3 maps, so we have our backs against the wall, and we just keep believing, and we just show that we're the best team in the world.
Following their E-League triumph, the team wasn't doing so hot. Device took a medical leave, leaving Dupreeh to temporarily pick up the orb in his absence. And, once again, Dupreeh stepped up in a big way.
This time, I don't think it's going to work out. Getting the kill on Taco, but they just have to play this one safe. 3 versus 1. He's going to go and isolate a player who almost gets that. Just play it cool now.
Surely he's used up all of his good fortune in that previous round. 45 seconds left in this 1-on-3. He's got to hope for a mistake. And he's found Coldzera. Still alive. Fur and Bolts trying to get together. This bomb is going to get planted as they rotate into position, but somehow Dupreeh has another chance.
Yeah, there should be absolutely no way in any universe that this can work out. 1 versus 4. AWP, they knew where he was. The bomb is down. And now they're going to try and double push him. They don't have a kid currently picked up. That's a big problem. He gets another kill. Taken down. Boom! Oh! Again and again, Dupreeh winning it for Astralis. 11-4. History in the making, ladies and gentlemen.
But the biggest shock of that period was the sudden departure of Kjerby, Astralis' youngest member, who decided to test his fortunes elsewhere and signed with North. Kjerby's spot had to be filled, and quickly. Astralis ended up picking Magisk as Kjerby's replacement, a move that solidified the superstar roster that would go on to smash every CSGO record and expectation. As for Dupreeh, after jumping from one position to the next for the last couple of years, he was now able to go back to his preferred role on the server, entry fragging. Not that it mattered, really. Dupreeh had proven that he was a true chameleon who could be whatever his team needed him to be and be no worse off for it.
Now, how does he get back into this one? They have a Molotov as well. Grenade gonna land on him, spray right through, taking down Glaive. Oh, sorry, Ray, not bad at all. And now gonna follow up, he has no smoke. This is incredibly tricky, and he's gonna tap the bomb, just holding it down. Olaf waiting on the other side, 1 more second, and Dupreeh's gonna get the shot, and he should have the time as well for the defuse. A 1-on-2 early on to get Astralis on the board. That is just very difficult to do.
Very defensive, you can see one player towards Library, that's Dupreeh. Is it enough? As will be an A-side finish. Zantares doesn't seem to think so, but the flashback is perfect. Can Dupreeh find 3? He certainly can. Bomb down, and he brings the round right back in their favor. What a fantastic play, Vince.
Dupreeh and Magisk up here on top of the heart damage done early on to Nap. He doesn't get by outside. Dupreeh, you just can't get past him. Elysian with the reply does find Magisk, but Dupreeh, he just keeps on shutting them down time and time again. It's Twist. 1v3, not meant to be.
Challenging the upper round, and that's where Device will be challenging as well. He gets the opening pick. Is it enough to Dupreeh? Ready on the lower ramp, looking for his third. He gets it, could get even more. This is brilliant.
Shadow through the smoke shows them, and now Zipix knows they're going to be on the corner. Tries to spray into the boxes. That gives himself up with the op. Dupreeh couldn't find the second chance. He will on the third as he gets Taco rotating around. That brings Device into it, and Astralis goes 6-5.
It looks like it's a done deal. Nitro has not turned up in this final map, and Astralis are so close to this point. 1 kill's going to secure it, and that's it! The Grand Slam is theirs! ESL Pro League Season 8 as well! Matthew, can you believe it? The first map, it looked like they were out of it. They weren't turning up. Their key players weren't there, but they adapted.
Back-to-back ECS, back-to-back Pro League, Marseille, Season 7, Chicago, and now for the first time ever at home, Season 8, Astralis are the champions of ESL Pro League, and for the first time in history, the best of all time, Intel Grand Slam, it's Astralis.
Astralis won tournament after tournament, a second major, the Intel Grand Slam, and countless others.
I think one of the things that defines him stylistically is his ability to be a jack of all trades. There is just like almost no position, role, anything that Dupreeh cannot do at a tier 1 level in Counter-Strike. He's sort of this glue, a patch that you can just like slap on whatever you need, right? Like you need this guy here, he's got it. You need this guy running this gun here, he's got it. He can do this to take over the op, secondary, he's got it. Like he can just do anything.
But amidst all the triumphs, there was some sadness as well. The team's rigorous schedule kept Dupreeh away from home and his ailing father for long periods of time. The Katowice 2019 major was coming up. If they could clinch the victory there, Astralis would become one of the most decorated CSGO teams to ever exist. But tragically, just a few days before the event, Dupreeh revealed the devastating news that his father had finally lost his long battle with cancer. While missing out on the major would have obviously been understandable, Dupreeh instead chose to battle through his grief and, with the support of his teammates, helped Astralis to make history.
This is unexplored. No one's done what they have. Intel Extreme Masters, the Grand Slam last year, back-to-back majors. Surely 2019 can't possibly be as good as 2018, but there's no signs of them slowing down. Not for Dupreeh either. He'll get two. They walk in the smoke, Glaive. He'll only punish one, but it's just aerial to find, and it's done! They had one goal. That's it. That's all they wanted. Back to back. And they've done it now. And the last to join the circle is Dupreeh. How much he had to give to be here. How much he had to give up. The loss of his father. No doubt he'll be smiling down on him now because he has broken all the records along with his team.
I came into this tournament with my father. He passed away just before I got here, and his last wish was that I went here, and so I really want to dedicate this win to my father.
Mate, come on.
In the wake of his personal tragedy, Dupreeh still used CSGO as an escape, the one stable thing he could focus on even when the ground slipped from beneath his feet. The rest of Astralis rallied around him, and driven by the strength of their common goal to be the absolute best team in the world, the Danes went on to win their 4th major, cementing themselves as the colossi of CSGO.
Like, this is just dominance on a level that sometimes it's hard to quantify, understand. It doesn't resonate with you because, you know what? It's so easy to dismiss it as boring, as easy. And I understand, you know, a close game is exciting, and I'm completely with you there. But the fact of the matter is that this game has been around, has had professional players for so damn long, and there is a gap like this.
It's possible that Astralis would have just kept on dominating the game for years to come. The results after the Berlin win certainly made it look that way. But in a crazy twist of fate, due to the global pandemic, all esports were forced online. And for the first time in years, Astralis showed signs of weakness.
Bit of a chance for Device, maybe could have seen someone. Chris will shut down another one, and this is just, I mean, like every one of these last rounds, it's a complete spiral for Astralis.
Regardless of the fact that, you know, they haven't played in such a long period of time, that's still the #1 team in the world.
From your perspective, what you saw, what went wrong?
Oh, there was a lot of things that went wrong. The communication was off, and we got off to a good start on those two, but then they catch back and won some rounds, and then it was suddenly even. Then we started to miscommunicate. People were not communicating enough.
As the year rolled on, both Xyp9x and Glaive took a hiatus from playing, and temporary stand-ins came one after the other to pretty unimpressive results.
NIP have got the A-bomb site, and Astralis with this double long hold, they do have players looking back, but it's dawned on them too late. And now they have to communicate to the guys down on B. All right, so yeah, they do actually have A. And as they try and rotate up, Yugi just... What? They knew they were in the site. I don't understand what... That's such a blunder from Astralis. They run in with knives out, and they lose players on the rotate in towards A. This surely can't be how it all falls apart.
They know they're in a rough spot. They know they're in a rough state right now. They don't have the players' desire to be on the lineup. They had to go out and get Snappy. He wasn't even the first choice. Nothing bad against Snappy. I think he's been doing as good as he could in this lineup, you know, under these circumstances. But a fact of the matter is that right now, a team that is supposed to be the best in the world is performing not even as a top 10 team.
Both Xyp9x and Glaive eventually returned to the team, but the Superstar squad just couldn't recapture their vibe again.
I imagine it's probably pretty hard to win 3 majors in a row, never mind the one they won in 2017, and, you know, to kind of be hit really hard by this sort of online weird limbo that Counter-Strike was thrust into. But I also imagine that one of the reasons it's so hard to recover is because, like, honestly, what else is there left to achieve?
And the true, final death blow to Astralis was the unexpected departure of Device, who chose to continue his pro career elsewhere. Dupreeh, who was Device's teammate over the span of several years and orgs, was understandably crushed.
Well, obviously, Nikolai, I know that you have made up your decision, and I respect it fully, and I'm gonna start crying now because it's actually quite emotional.
Hey, Peter. Appreciate the kind words. I will always love you. You are like a brother to me.
And the team's results reflected this profound loss better than anything else could have.
Like Dupreeh said it a couple of days ago, Astralis is at an all-time low, and I was not too sure whether or not I believe that after watching this game. Yes, Astralis is nearing an all-time low.
The old Astralis was now undeniably dead and gone, and Dupreeh had a difficult choice ahead of him. In December 2021, Astralis announced the departure of not one but 3 of its long-time members. Dupreeh, Magisk and Zonic were all moving to Vitality.
First word to express the first wish of the team. I'm actually going to say perfection. And I know that's a really big word, but we had a really good time, and I don't think we could have had a better start.
Of course, it's hard to say what Dupreeh's future on this new team will look like, but if his time on Astralis is any indication, Dupreeh can adapt to and thrive in any situation, and Vitality is no different.
That is a crazy move again from Rain. Is it enough to secure the map here? Carrigan with a headshot and down in the pit alone fighting as Dupreeh. Incredible transfer, and he's going to keep going. He lines them up. It's a quad at the end, shutting down the offense. It's going to be all out middle, no one coming boiler. So all the pressure's going to be on Dupreeh, but he's handling it incredibly well.
He's not a one-trick pony. He's not a luxury player, if you will, right? Like, you can always, no matter kind of age or composition or anything, like you can kind of always find a place on a roster like that, right? He's the guy who's willing to be the selfless, sacrificial team player.
Dupreeh already made history by becoming one of the first players to win 4 CSGO majors, 3 of them back-to-back, and he did it all on Astralis, a team whose success he always valued above individual recognition.
This game is so much more about team play than any other game, and obviously you combine it with being good individually, but I think our team play is very unique in so many ways, so I rather want people to see Astralis instead of me.
Now, Dupreeh has a chance to start over, to build a legacy outside of playing second fiddle to one of the world's best AWPers, to prove to everyone that he is capable of shining on his own, and to finally be celebrated as the undeniable, 1 in a million talent he's always been.
Dupreeh.
This is so fast. He's not ready for this.
Oh, he's looking back, and he's got 1 and a second. Dupreeh's recovered, and he's got 3. He's even tinked up the 4th as well, and he'll get it. He'll confirm, and now he might just get all 5. 1 player left, and Dupreeh's got it.